sit down for a moment. Wherever you are right now, whatever you were doing before this reached you, let it wait. Something is about to be said to you that has been forming in the quiet places of heaven for a very long time, and it cannot be said properly if you are still moving. You know that ache, the one that visits you around 11 at night, when the house has finally gone quiet, and the dishes are done, and the phone has stopped lighting up, that specific hollow feeling behind your ribs, when you scroll past another couple, laughing in a photo, and you close the app quickly, and pretend you were looking for something else. My child, I saw you close that app. I saw the exact second your face changed. You have been carrying something so private, you have not even given it words. You have not told your closest friend, you have not told your sister. You have not written it in the journal beside your bed. Even though you have opened that journal 100 times, with the pen resting on the page, the ache of wanting to be loved out loud, in front of witnesses, by someone who is not afraid to say your name where others can hear it, is the ache I want to speak to tonight. Do you remember the last wedding you attended? Do you remember standing near the back, holding a small paper plate with cake you did not want to eat, watching two people you barely knew promise forever to each other, while a room full of strangers cried? Do you remember driving home that night, with the radio turned low, gripping the steering wheel a little tighter than usual, whispering something to me that you have never repeated to another soul? I heard it. I heard every syllable of it, and I did not forget. For years now you have wondered if the love you long for is something I withhold on purpose. To some lesson I am teaching you through absence. Some discipline you have not yet earned your way out of. That is not what has been happening. Not once. Not ever. What has been happening is something you could not have seen from where you were standing, and I want to tell you about it now, while there is still time to hear it clearly. Someone is going to speak your name, in a room where other people can hear, and when they do, every quiet grief you swallowed alone will finally have a witness. Let me sit with you in the silent struggle first, because if I skip over it, you will not trust anything that comes after. You have been pretending to be fine for so long, that pretending has started to feel like your actual personality. You laugh at the right moments. You show up with the casserole, you send the birthday text, you ask people how they are, and you listen well, and you nod in the right places, and no one, not one single person in your life, knows how heavy the drive home is. No one knows how long you sit in the car in the driveway before you go inside. No one knows that the last time you actually cried was so long ago, you cannot even name the year. The bed on the other side of yours has been empty, or emotionally empty. For so long you have stopped reaching across it. You have trained your body not to reach. That is a specific kind of grief, and most people do not have the language for it. But I do. I watched you train yourself. I watched you stop hoping in small increments until the hope was so quiet, it was almost gone. The bills stack in a particular corner of the counter. You know the corner. You move them when company is coming, and put them back when company leaves. There is a number in your bank account. You check more often than you want to admit, and every time you check it, your shoulders drop a little further toward the floor. You have prayed about it. You have prayed about it so many times, you feel guilty bringing it up to me again. Like you are that friend who keeps calling about the same problem. You are not that friend. You have never been that friend. Bring it up again. Bring it up tonight. I am listening the same way I listened the first time, the friendship that ended without a fight, the one that just faded. The one you still think about when you drive past a certain restaurant, that one is still on your list of unhealed things. The marriage that quietly turned into a business arrangement, or the marriage that ended in a way that still makes your stomach tighten. When someone asks how long you were married, that is on the list too. The child who does not call, the parent who never said the words, the prayer that got answered with a slow silence, you interpreted as no. Have you felt that ache and told no one? Have you rehearsed a sentence in your head about how tired you are, and then swallowed it when someone actually asked how you were doing? That swallow, that specific swallow, is what I want to talk about, because you have been looking for relief in places that could never hold what you were carrying. I know about the horoscope you read last Tuesday, not because you believe in it, but because you were desperate for any hint that something good was coming. I know about the manifestation video you watched at 2 in the morning with the sound low, so no one would hear. I know about the affirmations you whispered into the bathroom mirror, while your eyes filled up, because you did not actually believe them, but you did not know what else to try. I am not angry about any of it. I want you to hear that clearly. I am not angry. You were tired. You were tired in a way that does not have a Sunday morning shape. You were tired in the way a person gets when they have prayed for the same thing for so many years that the prayer starts to feel like shouting into a canyon. So you reached for whatever was closest. That is a very human thing to do, and I understand it more than you think. The self-help books stacked beside the bed, the podcasts about becoming your best self, the strangers on the internet promising you 7 steps to the life you were meant for, none of them were evil. Most of them were just insufficient. They were spoons trying to bail out an ocean, and you knew it, and you kept using them because a spoon was the only thing in your hand. Underneath all of it was something you have not named out loud even to me, and I want to name it for you now. You were afraid I had forgotten. You were afraid you had somehow slipped off the list. You were afraid that other people got the love and the witness and the public joy, and you got the quiet corner and the paper plate and the drive home, and that maybe that was just your assignment. That was never your assignment. Not for one day, not for 1 hour. Think of Hannah for a moment. Not the Hannah of the finished story, not the Hannah holding Samuel in the temple, but the Hannah who could not stop crying at the table, the Hannah whose husband tried to comfort her with words that missed the mark entirely, the Hannah who went into the house of prayer and wept so violently and moved her lips so strangely that the priest thought she was drunk. Do you know what she was doing? She was saying something out loud that she had never let herself say out loud before. She was letting the ache have a voice. You have been Hannah at the table for a long time. You have been Hannah being misunderstood by the people closest to you. And I am telling you tonight the way I told her, that the years of swallowed weeping were not wasted. Not one tear, not one. Now hear me carefully, because this is where something turns. The delay you have hated was not punishment. The delay was preparation, and not just preparation of the other person, though yes, I have been preparing them too, in ways you will one day understand and weep over. The delay was preparation of you, the you who would have said yes 5 years ago, would have said yes to something smaller than what I have for you now. The you who would have accepted crumbs a decade ago, would have called those crumbs a feast, and stayed at that table for the rest of your life. I could not let that happen to you. I loved you too much. Consider Joseph in the pit. Consider Joseph in the house of Potiphar. Consider Joseph in the prison, forgotten by the cupbearer who promised to remember him. Every single delay in Joseph's story was positioning. Every single one. The pit positioned him for the caravan. The caravan positioned him for the house. The house positioned him for the prison. The prison positioned him for the dream. The dream positioned him for the throne. And the throne positioned him to feed the very family that had thrown him away. Nothing in his story was wasted, not the pit, not the false accusation, not the years he lost, not the birthdays no one remembered, not the nights he lay on a stone floor, wondering if I had confused him with someone else. You have wondered the same thing. You have wondered if I confused you with someone else. You have wondered if the good story I promised belongs to a different person with your same name. It does not. It belongs to you, and every closed door you cried behind was a hand on your back, moving you toward a room you could not yet see. The silence you interpreted as absence was actually attention. I was not gone. I was near enough to hear the pillow absorb the sound of your crying. I was near enough to count the breaths between sobs. I was that near. I am that near right now. You do not have to earn what is coming. That is important. Say it back to yourself if you have to. You do not have to earn what is coming. Now let me show you something that already happened, something you almost missed, because you were too tired to notice it at the time. 2 weeks ago, or maybe 3, there was a moment in an ordinary place. A grocery store aisle, a coffee shop line, the parking lot after church. Somewhere completely unremarkable. Someone looked at you a second longer than they needed to. You felt it, and you dismissed it, because you have trained yourself not to hope in that particular direction anymore. You told yourself you were imagining it. You told yourself, you looked tired that day, and they were probably just being polite. You walked to your car, and you unloaded the bags, and you forgot about it by the time the ice cream was in the freezer. I did not forget about it. That look was not nothing. That was me nudging a story into motion, in a way so small, you were not even supposed to notice yet. That was a first thread in a fabric I have been weaving for you since. Before you knew you needed it, and the person on the other end of that look is closer than you realize, closer than a season, closer than a year. They are inside the same weather system you are living in right now. There was also a phone call that did not come, and you were grateful and disappointed at the same time. You know exactly the call I am talking about. The one from the person who has hurt you before, who you keep half expecting to reach out, who you have both dreaded and hoped for. That call did not come, because I stood between you and it. I closed a door, you kept trying to leave cracked open. And the reason I closed it was not to punish that person. It was to protect the version of you that is about to walk into a room and hear something spoken about you that will heal. A place no apology could ever reach. Someone you have not met yet, or someone you have known and overlooked, has been carrying words about you. They have not yet had the courage to say. They have practiced them in their car. They have rehearsed them in the mirror, the same way you rehearse things you never said. They have prayed about the exact right moment. Though they may not use the word prayed, they have asked whatever they understand of me for the courage to speak. That courage is coming. It is nearer than their own breath. And when they finally say it, they are not going to say it in a corner. They are not going to whisper it in a car, with the radio turned down. They are going to say it somewhere other people can hear, a dinner, a gathering, a room full of ordinary faces. The story you have carried in silence for so long is going to be witnessed. It has to be witnessed, because the wound was witnessed. The paper plate at the wedding was witnessed. The car in the driveway was witnessed by the neighbor's porch light. Every quiet grief you swallowed alone was seen by someone, even if that someone was only me. The healing must match the geography of the wound. Public ache requires public grace. Now I want you to remember something from earlier. Remember the drive home from that wedding. Remember your hands on the steering wheel. Remember the sentence you whispered to me, that you have never repeated to another soul. I am going to answer that sentence now. You are not the one I forgot. You are the one I was writing the longest chapter for. Say that back, slowly. Do not rush past it. Do not soften it. Do not tell yourself it is meant for someone more deserving. It is meant for you, the specific you reading these words right now, in the exact chair you are sitting in, with the exact breath you are breathing. You are not the one I forgot. You are the one I was writing the longest chapter. For if these words found the exact place in you that needed them, let it be known, even if only to me, even if the only witness tonight is your own quiet chest rising and falling. That is enough. I will build the rest. Now let me pray over you the way I have been waiting to pray over you. Father, this one in front of me tonight has waited longer than they were ever meant to wait, to feel chosen out loud. Cover them. Cover the corners of their house where the mail piles up. Cover the empty side of the bed. Cover the seat at the table no one sits in. Cover the phone screen they check too often, and the phone screen they wish would light up with a specific name. Cover the years they gave to people who did not know what they were holding. Give them wisdom to recognize the person I am sending, and give them the courage to let themselves be recognized in return. So many of my children have trained themselves so thoroughly to be invisible, that when love finally walks into the room, they duck. Let this one not duck. Let this one lift their eyes. Protect them from every voice that tries to shrink what I am doing. Protect them from the friend who means well, but says it will never happen. Protect them from the family member who has decided a long time ago what this one's story is allowed to look like. Protect them from the small voice inside their own head that says do not get your hopes up again. Because I am telling you tonight, get your hopes up. Get them all the way up. I am nearer than the doubt. Heal the specific place that broke the last time they trusted. You know the place. I know the place. Heal it in layers, gently, so the healing does not startle them. Heal it in the small ways first. A good night of sleep, a morning where the first thought is not dread, a moment of unexpected laughter in the middle of an ordinary Tuesday. Then heal it in the larger ways, the ways that will only become obvious in hindsight, months from now, when they look back and cannot remember exactly when the weight lifted, only that it did. Restore what the years took. Not with a replacement, but with something so much better than replacement, that they will one day thank me for the very delay they used to weep about. Restore their laugh. Restore their willingness to be surprised. Restore their appetite for their own life. Restore the part of them that used to plan things without flinching. Provide for them in specific ways, not vague provision. Specific. The bill they have been dreading, the repair they have been putting off, the unexpected gift that arrives exactly when they were about to give up, the doubled portion that quietly appears where lack used to sit. Let them know it is from me. Let them not credit luck or coincidence. Let them look up and know. Break through every closed thing that needs to break through. Break through the stuck job, the stuck conversation, the stuck grief, the stuck prayer, that has felt like a door that will not budge. Some doors are stuck because they were never meant to open. But some doors are stuck because I am about to open them myself, and I want you to remember that I was the one who did it. Bless the family, the biological one and the chosen one. Bless the children whether they are near or far or estranged or still forming. Bless the friendships that have quietly sustained this one through years no one else saw. Bless the ones who called on the hardest days without knowing it was the hardest day. Multiply those people, send more of them. Bless the relationship I am forming right now, the one this whole message has been about. Steady the person on the other end of it, give them courage, give them clarity, give them the exact words when the moment comes, and give them the exact room, and the exact witnesses, and the exact light in the sky that day. I have not left a single detail to chance, not one. Someone else you love is carrying this same silent weight, and they may need to hear this tonight too. Let this reach them. Let it find their 11 o'clock ache, the same way it found yours. Give this one peace tonight. Not the peace that comes after everything is resolved, but the peace that comes right before, the peace that trusts the resolution is already on the way. Let them sleep tonight the way a child sleeps, when they know someone else is awake in the house watching over them. That is the peace I want to give. Strengthen them spiritually. Put a fire back in their prayer life that has grown quiet. Put a hunger back in the pages of the book they used to open every morning. Put songs back in their mouth that they used to sing without thinking about it. Restore the version of them that used to worship freely, before life taught them to be careful. And when the moment comes, when the words are finally spoken out loud in front of others, let this one receive them without deflecting. Let them not laugh it off. Let them not say, "Oh, stop." Let them look the person in the eyes, and let the words land the way I intend them to land. Let them feel seen the way they have always deserved to be seen. You have been loved the whole time, every silent night, every drive home, every empty side of the bed, every unopened envelope, every unanswered text. You were loved through all of it by me, without pause, without condition, without a single moment of hesitation on my part. And the love that is about to speak your name in public is only an echo of the love that has been speaking it in private, for as long as you have existed, right now. The story is already turning. You do not have to force the page. You were never the one I forgot. You were always the one I was coming back for. Sleep? Well, tonight, beloved, I am here. I have always been here, and I am not going anywhere.